Here we have John Tabis, who is present here today to present the world's most genuine online floral solution, the Bouqs Company.
I'm here seeking an investment of $258,000 in exchange for 3% of our business.
As he pitched his idea, he said that the business works because there are major pain points in the industry. For example,
They say it's $19.99, you check out at $64.50. What's up with that? Bait and switch product. You see a photo, it's not what arrives. And this is flowers. This is supposed to feel good.
he also exclaims that this is a flower business, and it's supposed to feel good while shopping instead of having these issues. The solution? Bouqs.
The first, we have one price. It's $40. $40 including shipping. There are no care and handling charges.
They also ship straight from sustainable, eco-friendly farms, but you'll flip when you hear where the farms are.
Located on the equator on the side of a volcano. Seriously, that's the volcano.
The other thing that they do differently is provide concierge service. You can schedule an entire year's worth of deliveries, birthdays, anniversaries, business dates. They do it for you and all at a discount. Wow, seems like a company worth investing in.
Business is blooming. Let's get you guys out of the water and onto the volcano. Who's with me as we build the next big flower brand at the Bouqs Company?
Cuban wanted to know more about the business, and Mr. Tabis said that the business is an e-commerce business, which started about 11 months ago. But when asked about the prices for each, this is what happened.
Is this a $40 bouquet? This bouquet you
That's
just
a
gifted me?
$50 bouquet.
I thought you said everything was 40.
So you can double the amount of flowers by paying $10 extra, and triple it by paying another $10. Cuban liked the angle he was talking about, and wondered why he didn't mention that in the first place.
My math, I think, is correct at 8.6 million you're asking for?
That's right.
So how do I value your business? Give me the metrics that makes you worth 8.6 million.
The growth of the company was astronomical according to him, as they had only begun with $13,000, and grew that into the $700,000 sales, but made $1.1 million at an evaluation for $5.2 million.
To me, that's a huge problem. I don't like to be just one of many. I don't like to be dumb money. And for that reason, I'm out.
Grainer said that her problem was with the fact that any of the competitors could steal his strategy if they like it.
I think that this doesn't have an edge anymore over any other floral company. I'm out.
Oh man, two have dropped out of the deal, and now Herjavec evaluates him and tells him this.
I have a challenge with that, and I don't know if your competitive advantage is sustainable. I'm out.
His heart must be breaking as he came in all jolly, but now he might have to return with no deals. Let's see what Corcoran has to say about this.
I want to address the name of your business. I think it's a terrible name. It's hard to spell, hard to remember. If you gave me a spelling test, it would take me 10 times to really get it. I'm out.
And like that, she doesn't want any of this. What happened next was just cruel to witness, as if you were in his shoes. You'd probably be as devastated as he is.
If I want to send flowers to your grave, I have to wait 6 days. And I think you died here today. I'm out.
Tabis said that losing the deal was certainly disappointing, but in the life of an entrepreneur, there can be no no.
I was planning my wedding, and I'm thinking, who do I know in the flower business? And I remember Bouqs. I call up John. He creates this incredible arrangement for my wedding. As I'm learning about the flowers, I'm learning about the business. I decided to take a second look and invest in the business.
Herjavec eventually ended up investing after getting a first-hand glimpse into the process behind creating beautiful arrangements. They were several days in 2017 and sold $1 million flowers in a day.
When I pitched in the tank, we had done about $700,000 in sales. Now, 3.5 years later, we've done over $88 million in revenue.
We're here seeking $500,000 in exchange for 10% of our business.
Here we have Joel Clark and Cameron Smith presenting their ideas for Kodiak cakes. So what are Kodiak cakes?
Kodiak Cakes is a flapjack and waffle mix. It's unique because it's made with 100% whole grains, has no added fats or sugars.
All you required was water. Wow. According to Clark, he used to sell pancake mixes out of a red wagon.
To build Kodiak Cakes into a nationally recognized brand, we believe we have great products and we have a proven track record.
The deal has already begun as O'Leary starts firing questions.
How do I get my money back and when?
We're going to build this thing to $20 million in 4 years.
How much can you sell a $20 million commodity pancake business for?
When he asked them how much they were planning to sell it for, this was their reaction as Clark responds.
Well, at that point, we're going to go for 1 to 1.5 times revenue. I believe we'll get 1.5 times, so we'll go for $30 million.
O'Leary said that he's the only rational investor amongst the sharks, as the rest gets emotionally involved.
You have a lot of work ahead of you. And for that ride, I've wanted a new risk premium. 50% of the business.
He was also sure that Clark wasn't going to accept the offer, and so he got out of the deal. Then this happened.
I'd love to be involved, but there's got to be a premium in it for me. I mean, I think there's a lot of risk, so I'm going to price in that risk for me. I'll give you the $500,000 for 35%.
Corcoran pulls up another offer after asking them if they were going to take Herjavec's offer.
I'm going to give you $250,000 for 20%, but you're going to have to get the other $250,000 from one other shark.
And then this happens.
You know what? I have to love what I get into, and I don't really like pancakes. So, I'm out.
Oh, that's one more shutdown. Things are not looking good for the company.
You're gonna have more challenges. You've been on a nice ride, you've executed incredibly well, you're efficient, you're great salespeople, but I think you're gonna run into some macro challenges. I'm out.
We already saw the Sharks get out, but something interesting happens.
I thought you were out.
No, wait.
Why do I
Maybe
always have to listen to you all day long?
Shut up.
Don't tell me to shut up.
I'm doing it
Shut
right
up.
now. If I wanted 2% share, which is what you're going to get this year if you're lucky in this market, could I buy it myself for $5 million without even having you involved?
What, you're going to go start a pancake
If
company
I wanted
in
to,
your house?
could I do it?
O'Leary joins Corcoran's offer and asked her to raise her equity to 25%. And together, they would take 50% of the company while giving them the $500,000. After some time for consideration, this was their response.
Well, you guys, thank you. I mean, we do appreciate the offers. We appreciate the interest, but we feel the value is way beyond what you've said. We really do. So we need to decline the offers.
Seriously? You're turning down $500,000?
Yeah, we're gonna turn it down, but we really appreciate it. We really do.
I think you guys are smart.
Okay.
I do too.
Even though they walked out of the tank without a shark, in 2020, Kodiak Cakes was worth $200 million, can be found in over 26,000 retail stores, and is an official food of Weight Watchers. Here we have Lena Phoenix and Steven Sashin presenting their company Xero Shoes.
We're looking for $400,000 in exchange for 8% equity in our company.
These shoes are high-tech versions of mankind's favorite footwear since 1500 BC.
Xero Shoes let you express your personality with styles that range from high performance, ultra minimal, to night on the town, fashion forward.
They're also super lightweight, way more comfortable than flip-flops.
It's just the start of their swim in a tank, and one of the Sharks already has his doubts as he was worried about the competitors.
Piece of rubber, piece of string. I can do the same thing and put my distribution power behind it and crush these cockroaches.
Sashin says they have a design patent pending, but O'Leary wasn't happy with that response, as it was just a piece of rubber and a string.
Steve, I promise you that I can have these on the boat in about 30 days.
Oh, I would challenge you for that one.
You want to challenge me?
When questioned about how the company can be evaluated at $5 million, this is what happened.
Say the company's worth $5 million, and because of our industry
Because of what?
expertise.
The industry? I'm out.
When they spoke about how this even came to be, this is what one of the Sharks had to say about that.
Look, it's a huge leap of faith. I believe your whole granola story and the Indians running around in the desert and all that stuff. But on the other hand, it's a crapshoot. I'll make you an offer just for the heck of it.
O'Leary proceeds to make a deal for $400,000 for 50% stake of the company. Sashin said that he would come back to the offer in a while, and this is what the Shark had to say about that.
I'm a rational investor. You people are probably delusional entrepreneurs.
Perhaps.
And somewhere in the middle is reality.
They were off to a rough start, and it seems like it's gonna be that way, as Corcoran said that the first problem is the sole is black, so it's gonna be hot.
Which is hot. Secondly, it's got a knot on the bottom. I would think it would be uncomfortable, and that's a liability, right? So I'm not crazy about the product, I have to be honest. I'm out.
Herjavec then steps in and tells them that he would love to try it, as he's a runner, but then this happened.
Steve, I would love to try it, but $400,000, giving the company a $5 million value, man, I can't try for that price. I'm out.
Thank you.
One more Shark has taken his bite and has left them bleeding. O'Leary tries to pressure them into accepting his offer, and they didn't really want to take his offer. But then this happened.
So I'm telling you, you should take Kevin's deal because your bubble is going to pop. I'm out.
O'Leary places his offer once more on the table, as he's the only Shark who's still willing to invest.
That's an offer we're not willing to take at this time.
Very well, you're dead to me. Run out of here with the bare feet.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for your time.
Guys. Thanks.
Another one bites the dust. Or did they? After O'Leary's offer of $400,000 for 50% was rejected in 2013, Zero Shoes went on to hit $33.6 million in net sales in 2021. Here we have the CEO and founder of the company, James Martin.
I'm here today looking for an investment of $600,000 for 20% of my company.
Copa di Vino was supposed to be America's first wine-by-the-glass product.
If I gave you a check for $600,000, how much of the IP company and bottler I could own? How much is that?
Martin said that he could own 20% then. O'Leary wasn't happy with that answer.
The amount of money I'll make on the IP side is far smaller than the great amount of money that I'll make on the bottling side.
Really?
Absolutely.
O'Leary said that if he was to invest, he would take care of licensing, but every time a sale happens, Martin would only earn 49% of what O'Leary brings home. Martin declined that offer, and this is what happened.
Well, then counter me. What do you want for 51%?
$3 million.
Forget it. Not a chance. James, listen to me. I am going to go buy a $1,000 bottle of wine tonight.
Later on, O'Leary says that he's going to buy a $1,000 bottle of wine because he's weeping for the opportunity lost. But he wouldn't care the next day as more opportunities would arise.
Cheers. 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 Thank you, guys.
Martin left the Shark Tank disappointed, but in a rare twist, he was invited back into the Shark Tank for a second appearance.
I'm back. Are you kidding me? Thought we kicked you to the curb.
James, you're still dead to me.
I'm here today seeking an investment.
And this time, he was seeking an investment of $300,000 for 5% of his company.
I'll do the $300,000 for 12%, because that's exactly what you're worth right now.
Cuban steps in to make a better deal by collaborating with the other sharks, and then came a decision that O'Leary, Cuban, and Herjavec would offer Martin more money at a lower evaluation, with more stake in the company.
$300,000 for 8% of the company.
That's your counter.
That's my counter.
Mark Cuban's not interested in that.
Cuban proceeds to say that they offered $600,000 for 30% of equity. With that, Martin would be getting 3 sharks to support him and help him build his brand. What do you think will happen next?
It's $1 million bottle of wine. 30% of the company. That should go for $1.2 million, and I'm going to sell it for $600,000.
I'm out.
Cuban was really disappointed and said that he's out of the deal, and then proceeds to say this.
You're playing games, and there's nothing I hate more than playing games. You knew the number. You knew the number when you walked out. You knew the number when you walked in, and you came in and created drama.
Martin said that he did not come here to create drama. Instead, he came here to make a deal as his experts calculated the evaluation of the company.
You know as well as we all do that it's worth what someone will pay for it. I'm just telling you, James, I'm out.
What's even more surprising is that one of the sharks does this as well.
I'm really out. I mean, you just came here to waste our time. So,
cheers.
After declining the deal with the sharks, Copa di Vino reached $20 million in yearly sales by 2015. In 2021, the company was acquired by Splash Beverage Group. Here we have Sue, Aram, and Dawin Kang presenting their idea for their company, Coffee Meets Bagel.
Today, we're raising $500,000 in exchange for 5% equity in our company.
Coffee Meets Bagel is supposed to change the way people discover and fall in love.
Sharks, I know what you're thinking. It's another dating site. We all know online dating sucks. Why?
By taking the proven concept of daily flash sale sites, merged it with social networking elements to create the highest quality dating services for singles.
The secret to success in online dating is winning over women. Single women are tired of signing up for dating websites.
Single women are tired of getting bombarded with messages from creepy people. And these were the sharks' reactions.
Kevin!
Ever since their national launch, they have been growing at double digits monthly. And with the sharks' investments, they could help singles all around the world.
So sharks, who's going to be our perfect match?
Herjavec asked them a question, which leaves him astonished.
And he was our very first investor.
on the $1 million, how much will you lose this year?
We'll lose $1 million.
You'll lose $1 million on $1 million in sales this year.
Yes.
That doesn't sound good. Hearing this, Corcoran also had a question to ask, which shocks all the sharks.
You're projecting $10 million for the second year.
Exactly.
How much money will you make on that $10 million?
We will break even on $10 million.
With customer acquisition costing 30 cents, This was their plan.
Next year, we plan on spending about $3 to $4 million on marketing spending and acquire 4 million users.
They wanted to invest more money into the business so that it could accelerate growth. And this is what O'Leary had to say about that.
But we can just as well just grow this business as
That's the
is.
fascinating dilemma, because I hear where you're coming from. The baseline model works. You want to pour gasoline on that fire.
Exactly.
O'Leary has come to realize that he is actually more valuable, according to him.
And it's made me very greedy. I don't do 5% deals. That's worthless to me. I wouldn't do this. I'm out.
O'Leary gets out of the deal due to this. The sisters try to explain why they're looking for growth more than sales at the moment. And Corcoran was very much into their whole idea, but she had something else to say too.
And I like all of that, but I'll tell you what I don't like. The break even at 10 million. A break even, and I'm only owning 5% of the stock. That's spooky. Doesn't seem like enough upside for the enormous risk I'd be taking. So for those reasons, I'm out.
It seemed like an enormous risk that she would be taking, and for those reasons, she was out too. Something interesting happens immediately after that rejection.
Let me ask you a question. If I offered you $30 million for the company, would you take it?
No.
Match.com makes around $800 million in revenue. And they saw this business growing as big as that. And they saw this business growing as big as that. And for those reasons, the sisters declined the offer of the buyout.
Has potential to be as big as Match.
He offered you $30 million and you didn't even flinch.
She should feel confident. It's a newer, ephemeral version of Hot or Not, which is brilliant.
Cuban supported them in their ideas, as it was a newer, ephemeral version of Hot or Not. But because the business was unprotected, it didn't seem like he wanted to be in this high-risk, high-reward situation. And for those reasons, he was out. After turning down Cuban's hypothetical $30 million buyout in 2015, the company was estimated to be worth around $100 million in the recent years.
Thank you.
Excellent presentation.
Here we have Jamie Siminoff from Los Angeles, California. His product today is the Doorbot.
I'm seeking $700,000 for a 10% stake in the company.
Consumers are currently spending billions of dollars outfitting their homes with products that work with smartphones.
One of the most ubiquitous technologies, the doorbell, has not changed since it was invented in 1880.
He demonstrates by telling Cuban that this door is his door, hypothetically. He projects his smartphone screen onto the TV screen so that he could show how it works.
When someone rings the doorbot, you can see them and decline if it's someone that you don't want to talk to.
Or accept more like a caller ID for your front door. Then he does something that surprises the sharks.
Hey, good-looking Doorbot guy.
He proceeds to make a funny conversation between two sharks.
Hey, Mark, it's your good friend, Mr. Wonderful. I wanted to have you join me on this deal with Doorbot. I think we can get them to go all royalties and no equity.
Everyone was laughing and having fun, except for one.
Mark, we know that no real entrepreneur is going to accept that deal.
He then ends his presentation in an interesting way.
Join me, and the next time you hear, it'll be, now who wants to be first to ring my bell?
Grainer was the first shark to tell him that he has potential, but it's always the but.
I'm not connecting to that this does enough at this time to distinguish itself as different from what else is out there on the market for the higher price point. And so for that reason, I'm out.
Okay. And for those reasons, she was out. Cuban jumps in next and tells Siminoff that he loved the idea, but
I've got to add enough value that this company, instead of being worth $7 million, can be worth $80 million, $90 million. I just don't see that progression, and for that reason, I'm out.
Cuban didn't think that the company would have the progression, and so Siminoff looks devastated. Do you think any other shark would want to break his heart?
I'm wrestling with where this goes in the market. I just don't think it's for me. I'm out.
Come on, there should be some kind of hope for him. Let's see what the other sharks had to say about the product.
Personally, I'm a security guy, so the idea of having another access point on my house like that freaks me out a little bit, because all those ADT and all those other ones are hardwired. I can't hack into those.
The fact that the Doorbot could get hacked because it's more software than hardware displeased him. But that wasn't the real reason.
It's really not an internet play, it's a consumer device. But you're pricing out $199. That price point is going to start dropping quickly as your volumes go up. For that reason, I'm out.
And for that reason, Herjavec was out.
You made a few jokes about Mr. Wonderful at the beginning and about the royalty structure.
Am I gonna regret that, Mr. Wonderful?
Mr. Wonderful said that the only person left was Mr. Wonderful.
I'll give you $700,000. I want a 10% royalty. That drops down to 7 after I recoup the $700,000, and I get 5% of the company's equity today.
Siminoff says they had a vision to build a big company out of this, but he couldn't give the 10% of all the sales because his company would bleed. This was his counteroffer.
So I would do $700,000 for a 10% interest rate with a 3% equity kicker.
No, not interested.
O'Leary wasn't pleased with that counter and declined.
What's the difference between the interest and the royalty?
The interest is cheaper.
The interest I can get rid of. I can pay you back.
O'Leary says that he would be the only shark that took the risk and invested $700,000, which is a lot of money. Did he accept the deal?
Respectfully, Mr. Wonderful, we're gonna decline.
We'll kick some ass, Jamie.
Thank you very much.
Good luck, Jamie.
Yeah, good luck.
Thanks, Sharks.
This is what O'Leary had to say about him.
Okay, Jamie, it's that moment when I say you're dead to me. Because you don't want to take my offer. I made you a very valid offer, I think, under the circumstances.
Even though Siminoff didn't get the deal, in February of 2018, Amazon acquired Doorbot in a deal reported to be worth more than $1 billion. Mark Armali, who's from Newport, Rhode Island, is here to present his company, BedJet.
And I'm seeking $250,000 for 10% of the company.
The BedJet is the world's first ultra-rapid and affordable cooling, heating, and climate control system designed for your beds at home.
Simply place the base unit under the bed, hook the nozzle into your bedding. We give your bedding that luxurious hot towel just out of the dryer feel in only 3 minutes from the touch of a remote.
And it only takes 3 minutes? What?
If any of you still have cold feet on joining the team after what you've heard, that's okay, we'll warm them up right over here.
The BedJet is quieter than any fan or air conditioner. Armali said that 50% of couples have different preferences in their sleep temperature, and I guess this could be the solution for that.
Lori?
My side is hot. I feel
Yeah, I mean, it's
hot
cool.
air,
It
right?
feels good on my feet, but the question is, how do you hook it up?
This also has timers, which are variable depending on whether you are cooling or heating.
Prove to me the market cares.
Yeah, let's
by
talk
giving-
about the economics.
Give us your sales.
Okay, we are going into production in 6
Oh,
weeks.
there are no sales.
O'Leary says that the pricing is ridiculous.
And he goes, $500. They both have a heart attack and they leave.
Do they?
After that remark, O'Leary tries to put him in his place.
You've overpriced it because you're a pig.
Quiet.
Oy
We were
vey.
supposed to be talking
Mark, I
about
have a
what the
simple
mattress
question. Why did
manufacturers.
you
Mark, if you
make
don't
this
listen to me,
product?
I'm going out.
Oh no, looks like somebody is being ignored as Corcoran grabs Armali's attention away. And this is what happened next.
That's a really good question.
I'm out.
Armali apologized for not being able to pay attention, as there were other sharks speaking at the same time.
Lori, can I ask you what your objection was? Was it that I didn't get to your question fast enough, or is it the fundamentals of the business and the product?
Mark.
Corcoran drops out of the deal as she didn't believe that this mattress would sell well, so she gets out of the deal.
What I have a problem with is that when I asked about the technology, you kept on selling. I just don't like the vibe. I just don't think you have all the pieces yet to go forward. And so for those reasons, I'm out.
Let's see what Herjavec has to say about this.
I think the machinery is remarkable. I mean, I love machinery. I love mechanical stuff. Here's where it fell apart for me, though.
That's good to hear. So I guess he's in, right?
You know, Mark is right. Whenever you were asked a question, you went into
Sales mode.
coloring it, and you went into sales mode. I think I wanted more. I didn't get more. I'm out.
Thank you.
Rainer wasn't done, though.
If you valued me, you would have answered back my questions.
Send her a
and
love
you would
letter.
have said, I'll answer you guys in a
Barbara,
minute.
knock it off. I
if
think
it was
she's making a
important,
good point.
So I feel like that's not the right partner for me.
But
I'm
Lori,
really sorry
everyone
for
was
that,
shouting
Lori.
at him
In
at
fact, when I
once.
came out here, I
Corcoran tries to support him by saying that all the sharks were shouting at him. Armali tries once again to get them to change their mind, but instead, this happens.
We're all out, Mark. You had your shot.
Even though he didn't get a deal in Shark Tank, BedJet ended up becoming a major success. As of 2022, the business had an annual revenue of $5 million and over $30 million in lifetime sales.